Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
Did you miss a show? Download the podcast now.
Hey, it's Elena J. So why does Kat keep a butcher knife in the front seat of her car? When you were younger, did you ever get caught sneaking in or sneaking out of somewhere? And if you're 16, 17 years old and you're about to start driving, should you know how to change a tire and jump a car before you're able to start driving? All of this plus so much more is coming up in the Playhouse Podcast, which starts now.
My question today is, are you driving around daily with a weapon in your car? Most specifically, a huge butcher knife. I used to do that back in the day because I was young and it made sense to me.
Tell everybody why you started carrying a butcher knife, though.
I will. And it happened. So I was coming to work. It was super early in the morning. I was coming down the hill right outside of the studio. And behind me, I look in my rearview mirror. Behind me was a man dressed all in black, running faster than any human I've ever seen run. So my mind goes to a ninja. He runs across the street, and I was so frightened for like a month and a half after that. That was my route to work, and I'm like, he's waiting behind every tree. So,
Elena, you've come in early in the morning. You ever seen any ninjas?
No.
Have
No,
you
I
ever-
saw like a hippie playing guitar randomly in the street. But
Okay,
that was it.
that's
But you
understandable.
see weirdos every day, so it's nice to know that if you had to run back to your car and look for a weapon, you would have one. So I want to know, my question of the day is, are you driving around daily with a weapon in your car?
Now, hold on. I'm hoping that we got this wrong and that maybe we could use this sound drop.
Is it who?
It's me, Mario.
Now, is it Mario or Maro?
Mario.
Oh, dang
Can we
it.
just call you Mario for today, at least?
You can call me Emrod.
No, okay, we're going to go with Mario
I
again, I
deleted
think.
it.
Oh, okay. Emrod, you got a weapon in your car right now?
Well, yeah, I carry a little knife on me, and because one day I got invited to this college in here in Minnesota, and I was driving on the road, and I was a passenger on the side, and some dude would be like, "Hey, what gang you in, fool?" I guess the way I was
What?
dressed was what gang was I in?
Yeah.
I guess the way I was dressed, it was inappropriate in the area code.
Sure.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, I don't gang any gang, fool. So I went like that.
Yeah.
You still called him a fool,
like,
even though you
yeah.
were not in the gang.
Yeah,
That was the mistake number one,
Yeah.
Maro.
I guess, but anyways, I was riding with somebody a female, so I wasn't thinking anything of it. No gang, fool, like that. And then we were driving to not even a block. We were turning to the left, and this guy, that same people, I had the window maybe 4 inches open, and this guy just pulls out a knife and tries to stab me in the stomach.
There it is.
All right.
I don't know where. From the back, I was like, "What the hell? What am I doing?" I was like, "Bitch, turn that way. Turn to the left,"
Whoa.
because I was telling the driver, I was like, "Bitch, turn that way because I'm gonna get stabbed."
All right. So regardless, you didn't get stabbed, though, right? Long story short, you didn't get
No.
stabbed, but now you have a knife on
So
you.
I rolled the window. Yeah, I rolled the window. I don't know if I broke his elbow or something, but we just kept rolling. I was like, "Man, you guys kept
All right.
Maro, he was asking for it. So
Maro, hey, thanks for calling the show, man. I'm glad you're safe. That took forever. Have a great morning. I appreciate it. Alexis, I want to move on to you because, like Kat, you have brass knuckles.
I do, yes.
And have you ever had to use them?
No, but when I worked overnights when I was a single mom, I walked to my car with them on my hands.
Yeah.
I just went everywhere with them. My dad, he got them for me because when I started the job, he was like, "I want you to be safe. I care about you." And I'm like, "Can I just walk around with a key in my hand like normal people?" And he was like, "Absolutely not." So
Yeah.
Now, no
he got
mace,
me.
no taser. You wanted to go with the brass knuckles. So you wanted to actually,
One of those.
hand-in-hand combat, and you were going to mess somebody up.
Well, yeah, if I needed to.
If it happened, though, if it would have went down, you'd have been able to jack a dude in the jaw and break him up.
Absolutely.
You know,
And it's funny because I call them my cat ears, so that's funny.
Most mornings, I have what I consider a weapon. That's a hot cup of coffee from the gas
Oh, there it
station.
is.
Because you just chuck it in the face, and then you can get them right in their groin.
Well, and I don't know, Alexis, if you've heard about it, but Kat basically just walks into the gas station and says, "I'm going to take this for free," and they just let her have it.
Because I have my
She's
brass
such
knuckles
a,
on.
such a giant celebrity. So,
All right.
Well, hey, do you still have your brass knuckles? Alexis?
Yes.
Oh, do you still have your brass knuckles?
They're like plastic. They're called like a personal lady defense. I'm not sure. I got them at Shields.
That sounds not mean at all. The personal
we
lady
gave
defense.
them out on the radio one day. We gave them away.
Those things?
Yes, it was a self-defense week, and we gave them away right before college started, and I know exactly what you're talking about. So, and Gabrielle, who's a listener, sells them. So maybe I'll get a hold of her, and we can blow these out. Protect women all over.
Fair enough. Hey, thanks, Alexis. I'm glad that you're ready to knuckle up. Have a great morning, all right?
So professional sports are a bit weird right now, due to COVID. I know they have the bubble, the NBA bubble down in like Florida, Orlando-ish, whatever. And a lot of teams are trying to stay quarantined together. And so the Seattle Seahawks, they recently had to cut this rookie player because he tried to sneak a woman into their hotel room.
See ya.
Yeah.
Why else do you try to become a professional athlete than the easy booty?
Yeah, so he actually dressed her up in Seahawks apparel to make her look like she was a player. But obviously they caught her. And yeah, like I said, he is out. So it just reminded me of back in the day in high school. I kind of had that rebel streak. I was dating my first girlfriend, and I would constantly sneak out of the house to go see her. And then that one night, I got the call from Papa J. Where are you at?
He went down to your room and you weren't there?
Yep, I wasn't there. Well, he saw my car was gone.
Oh.
That was the first, yeah.
Dummy.
And then he went downstairs, saw that I wasn't there, called me up, and I tried to lie through my teeth. I'm like, I'm at my friend Leah's house. She just, was having boy problems, just called me, and I just felt like I had to go over there and, take care of her or whatever.
Did you Ferris Bueller it at all? Did you make it like prop the pillows up,
no,
put a wig there?
No, because I wasn't ready to get caught. I didn't think that...
You didn't think it was going to happen?
I didn't think it was going to happen because I had snuck out 10 plus times before then, and it was fine. And so, yeah, I got grounded. That sucked. But what did you get caught? Like, how did you get caught sneaking out? Where were you going? What happened?
Okay, I'm not going to say I got caught sneaking out because I didn't have any rules ever. I didn't have any rules to follow when I was growing up.
It's all starting to make a lot of sense.
But I did get caught, and my friends and I did it too much where we would plan out movie times. And then we would go from one movie to the next, and then
you would
run into the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
We would see 4 or 5 movies a Saturday. And it's so easy to do it, So finally the ticket taker was like, hey, you've been here my entire shift. What's going on? But that was like this, but it was so thrilling because you were like, are we going to get caught? I'm going to go up for another popcorn. This is my 8th refill. What's happening? So that was my sneaky.
Where or when did you get caught sneaking around? These stories should be amazing. I wish I had one, but usually I would just roll into a place. I'd be like, I'm here. Let's make it happen.
Holidays here
how about
again.
you? You got caught sneaking out. Amanda, you're first up.
When I was in high school, my girlfriend and I snuck out after Mom and Dad went to bed, and we met some guy friends of ours coming back home. We sneak in the door. Everything's good. Yeah. My girlfriend, she was laughing, and she tried to get down the hallway to go to the bathroom. She kicked over the bird cage, so there was a mess all over the floor. The bird was flying all over the house. Yeah, my mom coming out, she was not happy at all. She said, clean up this mess, get to bed, and I won't tell your dad. And then, of course, the next day, my girlfriend had to go home, and I was grounded for a week.
There it is, and that never works out that way. And if you do this and do this, I won't tell your dad. Immediately, you wake up, your dad's sitting there with a cup of coffee. So, what happened last night?
Yep.
That's the way it goes. Jennifer, what do you got for us?
We did a lot.
Okay.
Back in the day. We all went in a van, and we would hide in the back because it was a conversion van that had, a bed in it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
There would be like 2 or 3 of us that would hide under the bed. There were me and 2 other girls hiding in the back end under the bed, and we could hear talking. Mm-hmm. And I heard one of the guys up front say, "Don't move." Well, next thing we know, the back doors are flying open on the van, and here comes this flashlight flashing in at us, and yeah, we were busted.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden everybody's got to pay to see the movie. That's the word. It's not quite a where were you when 9/11 happened, or where were you when OJ was found innocent, or when Kennedy was shot, or when we landed on the moon for like our parents' generation. But the latest one is, where were you when the tornadoes hit Friday night?
Yeah.
And I think there was at least 3. Some were saying 5 confirmed touchdowns between Wilmer and Spicer.
So it was raining so hard. It started right when we got home. It was like 5:30 from the golf tournament, and it was raining so hard. I was like, it's like that one part in the movie I Know What You Did
Forrest
Last
Gump?
Summer
Oh.
where she runs out and she's got her big boobs. She's like, what are you waiting for, huh? What are you... So Derek put on a
Love
wig.
me some Jennifer Love Hewitt.
And he put on one of my tank tops and ran out and
Oh,
did
I thought that was you.
No. Real nice.
Yeah, I thought that was you. I looked at it just
Derek.
casually this morning, and I was like, Kat, what are you doing out there? You don't like weather?
No. That's Derek. What are you
Funny.
waiting for?
Elena, where were you when I was standing right next to Green Lake videotaping these tornadoes. Where were you?
We had just gotten home. We were doing some grocery shopping, and we were going to have a nice little date night. We were going to make our steak and our mashed potatoes, asparagus, and everything. And Melissa starts freaking out because she's from the state of Virginia, and so she's not used to tornadoes. And so she's like, we got to get downstairs. Girls, she's calling ZZ Billy, the dog. She's like, get downstairs. Everybody needs to get downstairs. And I'm like, baby.
She full-blown panic attack right at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, baby, it's fine. I was like, it's all good. Like, we can go outside. We can look at it.
That's what we do.
Yeah, that's what we do here. I was like, it's fine. And so then she calls her mom because, she's from Virginia as well, and she doesn't see tornadoes. She doesn't see this type of weather. And so she's talking to her mom, and her mom's like freaking out. And she's like, I hear the sirens. You guys need to get downstairs. And my fiance, Melissa, then switches gears, and she's, instead of freaking out, she's like, Mom, it's okay. That's what we do here in the Midwest.
So
We're
she
fine.
became a Minnesotan just
that
like
moment.
that.
Yep.
That's it.
So
You can mark
proud.
that. You should write that down.
I don't want one person to feel bad for me or my home if anything happens, because I went to the highest point in my house with the most windows so I could watch, and I laid in bed and I watched TV. So, I mean, as the siren was going off, I did that. I consciously got up from the couch. I passed by many a closet without windows.
I was 150 yards from a tornado, and
I know.
I didn't flinch. It's so weird how just jaded you get to this. Now, and this isn't bad, right? I mean, we get our fair share of decent severe weather, but imagine if you lived in the tornado belt.
Right.
You know what I mean? Tornado Alley, what is that? Oklahoma, and you got part of Nebraska there, and I think some of Kansas. If you're there, and you hear, but I think they get the bigger, meaner ones. Like they get the F4s and the F5s a lot more often.
A lot more room for buildup. And some people are like, why do you keep... It's like the people in Fargo. Why do you keep rebuilding? It's going to flood anyway. Why do you keep rebuilding? You're just going to get another tornado. These people live there, and they work those fields, and that's their livelihood.
You know what I noticed is there's a development up by my place where they're building all patio homes. And I was like, what do you do then?
If it wipes it all out.
No, what do you do if there's a tornado? Where do you go? I mean, where do you go? I don't think it's like a
You go
community
into a
cellar.
bathroom without windows.
I don't think I could do that in Minnesota. I don't think I could live here and not have a basement. I think that's just, I don't know if I want to roll the dice like that. That seems like a bad bet. You know what I mean? That seems like it's
Why
just
do I feel like it won't ever happen to me? And
I
hope I'm not.
think the
I'm gonna
odds are
knock on
pretty
wood
good
here.
it doesn't.
So I was talking about how I'm still waiting for a text back from Derek. He normally gets up at about this time, but I need to make sure he knows that I put the beach basket behind his car.
Why would you do this? You know he's just going to back
I don't
out
know.
over it.
I put it there, and then I got in my car, and I get here, and as I'm prepping for the show, I'm like, oh, no. So I send him a text because he's just like so oblivious when it comes to he just gets in his car and goes. Like there could be just 5 people behind his car, and he probably won't notice. So as of right now, worst decision for the day.
Elena, what's the worst decision you've made so far today?
It's stealing that creamer. The creamer for my coffee. I ran
Against
out.
the 10 Commandments.
I just feel bad.
What if you found out that it was a coworker that you didn't really like?
No, I wouldn't care.
That's how I look at it.
I want to know about the worst decision you've made so far this morning. Raylene, tell me about it.
I forgot my 5-month-old lab puppy. I didn't put him in their kennel before I left for work today. And I was in a huge rush. So I thought about turning around and being late, and then the excuse of I forgot to put my dog in the kennel.
So you're going to go home.
Like, you know what? Yeah. It's a 50-50 shot.
So you're going to go home, probably mud everywhere, as in poop.
What about neighbors? Could your neighbors go put them in the kennel?
No. I would never trust my neighbors with my garage code.
Really? Oh my gosh, I think all my neighbors have my garage code.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I could sleep at night if my neighbors have my garage
I think
code.
I sleep better knowing that they do.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I changed my garage code after I gave it to my mom. I gave it to her to get in. One time she beat me to my house and she's like, just give me the code. So I gave her the code and then I told Derek to change it again.
But you were afraid she was going to steal all your Crocs?
Yeah, she's just going to go crazy on my Crocs.
So your dilemma, though, the bad decision you made already today was leaving without putting the puppies in the kennel.
Yeah. So either it's going to be a mess or they're going to really prove me that he's a good dog.
Oh, I got callers lined up as far as I can see, so let me plow through this email real quick. Hey, guys, I have a bet with my dad. We've agreed to let you and your listeners decide who is right. Been driving for about a year, using my parents' car around town, but I want to join my girlfriends for a lake trip before the summer's over. They're going out ahead of me. My dad won't let me take his car out of the area because he says I'm not ready till I know how to change a tire and jump a battery. This is ridiculous. I'm not about to be crawling under a car and touching those filthy jumper cables. That's what AAA is for. Can you ask everyone if they think that those things should be required to drive a car out of the area? I mean, my dad can't cook, but we let him sit at the table and eat with us. This is from Allie, age 17.
What a 17-year-old thing to say. I do want to go back and just say, listen, I think it's great to have those skills, but also a 17-year-old female at night should not get out of her car. So I agree that you could use AAA up until that point.
So you're saying, yes, she should have to have these skills.
I think so.
Elena said yes earlier as well, and I'm like, I'm okay with my daughter being able to call me. It's one of those things I'm still kind of hanging on to. Kimberly, how you feeling this morning?
Good.
Good. Should Allie have to have these skills before she can take Dad's car out of town?
Yes, she should, because it's just like what happened if her tire's flat in the middle of the night? Somebody's got to be able to help her. She's got to be able to know what she's doing.
Yeah.
Just in case. And you can't trust everybody.
I know, but everybody's got a cell phone now.
I'm going back to her being out at night, though. That's very, very dangerous.
And it's the fact that she's 17, she's a minor. There is a chances of some random dude like showing up and trying to help her, and you don't know if they actually want to help her or they want to hurt her.
Yeah.
Good call. I think you're onto something there, Kim. Thanks for calling the show. I really appreciate it. Let's get Ashley's thoughts on this. Should she have to know how to do this, Ashley?
I think so, yeah.
When did you learn?
When I was 17.
Okay. So before you could kind of really get out on your own?
My dad, before I got my license, while I was learning to get my license, he said that to be a responsible car owner, you needed to know how to change your oil, change your tires, do all that kind of basic car stuff.
Yeah, I got you. All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you checking in. Have a really good morning. It's Alexandra. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great. Should she have to be able to do this? You're saying yes, too, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. And when did you learn? Do you remember?
I learned before I got my first car.
Okay.
So what do you think about
My
the
dad
whole
taught me how.
knowing how to change your oil? I don't think that that's a necessity. I don't think you need to know how to do that.
I don't know how to do that. I just know how to jump my car and change my tire.
See those two, and then put windshield wiper fluid in and where the antifreeze go. Those are the top four for me.
Yep.
For even anybody. A guy doesn't have to learn how to change his oil. It was convenient to date someone that knew how to do that because then I could have that money in my pocket.
Sure.
But I'd rather bring my car in and have them do a once-over.
Well, I was driving with my ex-boyfriend, and his tire went flat, and it was in the winter, and he didn't know how to change it.
Oh, no. How unattractive.
So guess who changed it?
No
Me.
way.
Alexandra did because she's a boss girl. That's why.
Look at you.
Well, yeah, and it was snowing, and I'm like, I don't want to sit here and wait for AAA.
Is he one of those guys that would make a pregnant woman get out and pump her own gas while he sits in there and plays Brick Breaker?
Yes.
What an idiot. All right.
I love it. Hey, thanks a lot, Alexandra. Have a great morning.
Thanks, you too.
I got time for one more call real quick, and I want to go to Carl. Now, Carl, before we get you on the air, I want you to know that it is a Playhouse rule, and we have now made it an actual law. It's ready to be passed into law that Carl is the male equivalent of Karen. So I want you to buck that trend and not be a super Karen, but you think everybody should know how to do this, right?
I do.
Yeah. When did you learn?
I learned when I was 15 when I got my license.
There it is. Do you have AAA?
I do.
And
they had this class in my high school. It was you took your driver's ed
Driver's
classes,
ed, yeah.
and then your parents could pay you an extra like $25 for the shop guy to come, and he would show everybody. I mean, there were a lot of girls that left there knowing how to do all.
Carla, you're telling me right now if you had a flat tire right now, you'd be able to change it.
I could.
Yeah, no problem.
I think AAA is more for major things. Like a flat tire and a battery is such a minor thing that you shouldn't call someone who wants to do it.
Yeah.
So if you have like an actual motor breakdown, you throw a rod, and next thing you know, you gotta be towed somewhere. That's for AAA, is what you think?
Yeah. I mean, the dad probably can't cook, but he can probably make mac and cheese around him.
Fair enough. Hey, look at that. I like that. Look at you. All right, well done. Fair enough. Hey, if we didn't get to your guys' call, definitely text us, or you can stay on the line. We'll get to you in a couple of seconds at 320-251-1047. I appreciate the input. Can we just say that we've pretty much all determined that Allie should have to do this before she can go away?
Those two things, yes. Not the oil, but the other two.
Okay, and she said she wants to go over Labor Day weekend. So listen, that's plenty of time to learn. I mean, it's a 10-minute lesson to jump your car.
Yeah.
And then it's a 15-minute lesson to change the tire.
But didn't you hear what you said before we got to all the callers? Was that it was one thing that you were still holding on to? Remember, my dad wanted to watch Dog the Bounty Hunter rather than come help me.
Well, yeah.
In that torrential rainstorm on 10.
My daughter's very lovable. You're not.
I am.
You're struggling with spitting out the words.
Podcast. Download the podcast.
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryant Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend. Immediately.
And hey, we have more podcast episodes available, so go check them out right now. Do it. Come on, do it. Seriously, do it.